Hello, hello, hello. Let me get this off of our faces. Happy Friday, Karen.
Hello.
How's
Woohoo! Happy Friday to you, Ayana.
awesome? We made
We
it
made
to.
it through another week.
It's been a rough week for me, but I'm happy to be here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let us know where you are joining us from. I'm Ayana Peterson, the Thrifting Diva, and my co-host is.
Karen Duclosel of Thrifting Atlanta.
Welcome, welcome. Who do we have in the audience? We see Stacy is here. I see Monique is here. Hello, Monique. Thank you for joining in. Laquel, Maxell, good evening, ladies. Thank you so much for that. Stacy, are we tired, Stacy? Is it the end of the week? We're tired. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Mindful Fridays for the thrifting and reselling communities. Tonight, we're talking about whether you're brilliant on the basics, and it's a lot. So we're not going to talk too much. We're going to try to get into this. If you're joining us late in this, please watch the replay. But I'm going to let you guys know you're probably going to need a notebook and some pen and paper just to take some notes down. So although you can get your libation, because I've had to have some today already. I think today is going to be chock full of really useful, practical tips to make sure that you have the basics on live selling. And I know in the audience, we're going to have some folks who we consider veteran sellers. So if you have information to share, please jump into the comments and please, put those tips out there. And for our new resellers, for those who are new to live shop selling, this is going to be a chock full, really a lot of information we want to pass to you. But you have mentors all up and down in the group, so please reach out to those, especially if you see someone giving you some good ideas and good advice. Jump into their inbox after this and say, hey, I really like what you had to say on the Mindful Fridays. Can I pick your brain? Kind of things of that nature. So if you're ready for a back to the basics, be brilliant on the basics. That's what we call in the military. Even though we've been doing this for years, sometimes we just want to make sure we have that basics, the foundation really, really set. There are no cracks in the foundation, that there are times we may have to go back and revise a plan. And that is what tonight's about. So TGIF, Make sure you have your pad and your pen and everything ready. Karen is up getting some techie things out of the way for us. So please, if you can hear us okay, please go
Yes.
ahead and let us know that we're coming over fine. We had to work through a little bit of tech right before we went live. So we want to make sure we're coming over fine, that you can hear and see us well, and that you are ready. And if you are ready, can we get a basics in the comment? Let that algorithm know we are out there and we are pushing content for you to make sure that your live selling game is at the as is it peaking.
Yes.
Okay. So let's hear if you're hearing us okay. Karen, are we good to go?
I believe so. I had to move. Can you hear me okay and see me?
Yes, you're not
Okay.
freezing. So I am
Good.
happy about that. um, Sometimes, tech doesn't want to play with us. Sometimes it's just what it is. But it looks like everybody is ready. And so, as I
Yes.
said, we're not going to be doing too much chit chat because I know you're here for one thing. And let's give the people what they're here for. So, we're going to jump into this. Do you want me to kick it off, Karen?
Yes, because your section is
Up first,
the
anyway.
first part is like it is first, but it's very, very important. So
Okay. And so tonight, the first thing we want to talk about is buyer persona. So I want to know in the comment section if you already know what a buyer, if your business has completed a buyer persona profile. Just say yes or no. We'll know
I
what
know.
we're talking about. But have you completed a buyer persona profile? Have you updated your buyer persona profile? If you have done it and it's been a while, have you updated it for, within the last, let's say 12 months? Let's see what we have. So that will let me know exactly who the audience is, what we should be talking about, and why should we be talking about it. So I have some yeses coming in. Keith is saying he doesn't remember. Ooh,
Mm,
okay. And we have some no's coming in. No shame in the
yeah,
game. Okay. This is where we're
no, no
starting.
judgments. No
Um,
judgment.
that's, it's fine. It's okay because this is something we have to do over and over. We have Bridget Robinson said, yes, she has done her buyer
Mhm.
persona profile. Amazing. Awesome. And Stacy has come in with a yes and it's updated. So that's amazing. All right. So for those who don't know what the buyer persona is, please repeat the question, just got on. Debbie, we're asking if you have completed a buyer persona profile for your business. And if you have, has it been updated within the last 12 months? Okay, so buyer personas and why I think it is such a big and important part of why you need to make sure you have a buyer persona. So a buyer persona is really a profile that gives you a deep insight into your customers, what makes them tick, how they shop, so you can deliver relevant marketing, relevant products, relevant items to that buyer persona. So now, one of the things I want to make sure that you are tracking on this is that a buyer persona is not the same thing as your target. Um, it's not the same thing as your target market. Okay.
Mhm.
So when we start talking about buyer personas, the first question you got to say is, how well do I know my ideal customer? What gets them to watch your live? And we're talking about lives in this, but this could be for any business, right? What gets them to
Mhm.
buy your product? But in this case, we're talking about live reselling. What gets them to watch your live? And more importantly, what gets them to buy your pieces? And so if you have started a business and you honestly don't have a idea of what your ideal customer is, then maybe this is where we start from the beginning and get really deep into this and make sure we understand this. I always say, and I'm going to trademark this one day, but say that just because a woman wears a dress doesn't mean that's your ideal customer, right? You sell
Mhm.
dresses, women wear dresses, therefore it makes sense that the woman is your ideal customer. That is not true. And what I see, especially because you get in this live reselling community, you get to see ton and ton of different sellers up close and personal. And I can tell when members of the reselling community honestly have not dug down and done the homework as to who their ideal customer is. And to do so, you have to have a buyer persona for that. There you go. Just Stacy put it. Just because a woman wears a dress does not make you your ideal customer. And let's be honest. I will be absolutely honest with you. Before I started doing the research on these kinds of things, I did think that was the case. Well, I sell this. You wear that. Air two, we got a match in heaven. And that is just not how sales and marketing work. And unless you start with that ideal buyer persona and create it from scratch and figure out how to do it. So let me talk to you a little more. And then what for those who are on the live tonight, we're going to give you a free workbook so that you can go over your buyer persona because we can't get to everything tonight, obviously, because we only have 1 hour and we have so much to hit. So that you can leave and over the weekend a workbook with the worksheet to really do the homework on how to get to figuring out who your ideal buyer is. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, we're not always everyone's lane. And that's true. And I want to go a little deeper on that, Keith, because it's not just being in the lane as the seller, is whether or not you know how you are targeting and marketing and shopping and sourcing for that ideal customer. And it's, as he said, it's okay that not every single person who watches your live buys something from you. But let me go a little deeper into this. Um, Understanding your audience is not just about saying, oh, they're women who love to thrift. There are tons of that. There are tons of Black women who love to thrift. There are tons of women who love to save on things. But it's really getting into the demographic data, like the age and location of where these women are, the psychographic data, like their interests and their buying motivations, that helps you tailor your business, tweak your messaging, tailor your content, and develop products and what you buy to sell to them. So until you have that, I honestly think that you're overexerting yourself trying to figure it out without getting far quickly. Now, will you get somewhere? Yes. But will you get there quickly? Probably not if you don't take this basic step of trying to figure out who the buyer persona is. So let me give you a quick example and then we'll move on. Okay, so I always talk about, and people I think confuse a buyer persona with a target market. The target market is really a target audience or customer that are large groups of people. So let me understand. If you're following me, let me know you're following me. These are large groups of people, typically defined by a wide demographic. So, for example, a company selling accessories might say, our target market are a woman from 25 to 55 in urban areas who love yoga. That's a target market. That's the wide swath of where you can find these things. Now, a buyer persona would be much more specific and descriptive. Can you close the door for me, Elijah? Close my door, please, here. Sorry about that. So a buyer persona would be much more specific and descriptive. Let me example. A buyer persona would be Karen, who is a 39-year-old engineer living in Austin, Texas, who likes going to her local yoga studio for about the last 8 years. And now she works remotely, wanting different ways to practice yoga while she travels. Much more specific, much more entail and detail. And the reason when you get to that specificity, why it helps, because then when you are thinking of campaigns and marketing and promotions for your business, you know what Evelyn or Karen would like, right? Because when you say a woman aged 35 to 45 living in an urban area who likes yoga, You could go out and start buying a whole bunch of different things for this person, and they may or may not like it. But if you know very specifically that no, they live in Austin, Texas, that means the clothes they're going to wear, what kind of seasons they're going to experience, right? Are they going to need fur coats? Are they going to need things that are going to be, you know, for hot weather and stuff like that? This, how long has this person been working? Are they working from home? Those are the different things that if you start understanding your buyer persona, then your targeting for that market is going to become very strategic. You're going to waste less money buying things that people are not going to buy, and understand what your target audience want. Now, I know that's a lot. Let me know if you understand where I'm going with this. But as I said, this by itself could be a full 1 hour topic. And we've done training on this because it is something absolutely, if you get it right, you will completely change the way you do your lives. It will change the way you source. It will change the way you market. It will even change the way you put your promos together when you do your promos. But one tip I'll leave you with right now tonight is that one way of starting to figure out, like, because you're like, okay, so how would I get all this information to create this profile? Facebook has so much data that it gives you for free that it's unbelievable that many people don't use it. So in your insights on your Facebook page and in your Facebook group, it gives you a lot of information where the people who are following your page are from, what part of the world, what part of the country. It tells you their ages, it tells you their buying habits, it tells you so much that if you take that information, you can create an ideal buyer persona. So I want to just show one last thing before we move on. And this is I'm going to go to the front. This is a free buyer persona workbook that we have done. We did a few years ago for the Level Up Academy, and it will be free to anyone. If you are interested in getting the free workbook, just put your email address in the comments and we will send this to you. And so this is a workbook that walks you through what I basically just talked about. What are buyer personas? One thing I did talk about, negative personas, that I forgot to mention. Now, a lot of people are afraid of losing a sale. So what they do is like, well, I have to buy, I have to market to everyone because I don't care who's buying as long as someone is buying. And let me explain why what we call negative buyer personas, are just really bad for your business and really detracts from what you're trying to accomplish. A negative personas are people who just waste your time and resources with no intention of buying or low possibility of buying. So these personas, I will call, might include questioning Quinn. And let me know if you've gotten these folks in your system who peppers you with questions about how things fit, your return policy, whether you can hold something for them, when in the end, she doesn't buy anyway. Those are what we call negative personas. And the reason you get negative personas is because when you are targeting everyone, you're going to get some of what you need and a lot of what you don't need. And those are negative buyer personas. Not to say that questioning Quinn is not ideal for somebody else. She's just not ideal for you based on what you are trying to do. So if you are targeting everyone, if you're just doing a target market and not an ideal buyer persona, then you're going to be spinning your wheels on what is working, what is not, and why aren't I getting a consistent return on investment when I go on to these lives. All right. If you are interested in the book, please let us know. We will email it out to you. Here at the back of it is the buyer persona worksheet that will help guide you through how to create it. The questions you have to ask, and how you create a buyer persona. Let me know if this made sense, or if you have any questions about what I'm saying. I know I'm going rapid, but as I said, we only have an hour and we need to get through so many other really important basics, foundational for live selling, that I didn't want to spend the entire time on buyer persona. Okay, Karen.
All right. So make sure you let us know your email. We will email it out, and we could also probably post it in the event page for this too, if you don't get the email. All right, so the next part of this training is all about invoicing. And this part is very important as well, because we want to make sure that we are getting our coins, right? You want to make sure that you are providing an efficient way for your customers to be able to pay you after your live sale. So for those of you that have been selling since we started in 2020, let me know in the comments, are you doing manual invoicing, or have you leveled up and started using like the Reply Sold? Let me know in the comments, are you doing manual invoicing, or are you using Reply Sold? Okay, so we see some are doing manual, Reply Sold. And Stacy says, invoicing is so critical, not only to collect profits, but to save you time. Absolutely. I've leveled up and I'm ready, and I'm using Reply Sold. Awesome. All right, so that's good to know that those of you from 2020 are, looking at some other options. With the invoicing, if you are doing manual invoicing, we have some solutions for you. One is using PayPal and actually putting your items into your PayPal dashboard. What that allows you to do, if you put your inventory into your PayPal, when you are invoicing your customer, it's quicker for you to type in the item number of the particular item, and it would populate the description and the price. So instead of you having to manually type in the item number, the description, figure out the price, that will take a lot longer than if you have it already in your PayPal. You can just type in the item number and everything populates. So it makes it much, much easier. But you do have to plan ahead of time, right? So when you're outsourcing, you bring your items back to be processed at home. You want to take that time to put in the inventory into your PayPal. You cannot do this right before a live. This means you're assigning your numbers to your items. When I first started, I thought I would never need a faster or more efficient option. And that's true. When you're starting off, you're just, trying to find your way. But when you start doing more and more lives, you want to make sure everything is a little more streamlined. So using PayPal and putting your items into your PayPal makes it a much easier process, especially when you're trying to get these invoices out right after the live sale. A lot of you give your customers a time frame to pay for their items, but you also have to take into account how long it's going to take you to get that invoice sent out. So you want to make sure that you find a process that would, be quicker. The other option that you can do is Shopify. Isn't it just as much work entering the information with Reply Sold? It is, but when it comes to after the live or during the live, your customer gets the shopping cart sent to their Facebook Messenger. So when the customer claims an item, and this is pertaining to Reply Sold, when a customer claims an item and they win that item, it sends them the shopping cart to their Facebook Messenger while they are on the live. So at any time, that customer can check out. So you don't have to send them an invoice. So while you're doing your live, you can see on the dashboard how many people have already paid their invoice. Also during the live, they can type the word checkout, and it provides them with a link so they can pay for their claim. So yes, it is the same amount of work putting in the item. into your, whether you're doing the PayPal or reply sold. But the end result is you don't have to take that additional time to send out the invoice. So I hope that answered your question. Now with Shopify, Shopify is, as you know, I talk about, building your websites using Shopify to create the site. But if you are not ready to design your website, you can still use Shopify to invoice your customers. The benefit of using Shopify as, as a way to invoice is you would not have to estimate or guesstimate the shipping. Because what happens is when you are inputting your inventory into Shopify, you're also including the weight of the item. So when you put in the items and then it's time to invoice your customer, you are sending them a link for them to pay. And when they are paying the invoice, they have to type in their mailing address. So when they type in their mailing address, it'll calculate the shipping based on where it's coming from and where it's going to the final destination. So all of those, sometimes we low ball and we don't provide enough shipping. So this eliminates that whole process because it automatically calculates it, and the customer is getting the accurate shipping based on their zip code. So I always suggest, as you're doing your lives, find what would work best for you. Either putting your items into PayPal and using PayPal to invoice your customer, or using Shopify as a way to invoice your customer as well. So those are the two systems that I would suggest to help you to simplify your invoicing and to get those invoices out as quickly as possible. Something else I want you to consider when you are invoicing. Think about the time frame that you tell your customers to pay their invoices. We have customers that shop from all over the country, right? You're in one time zone, they may be 2 hours behind you, right? So think about the time frame that you tell them. If you're doing a live, let's say at 10 p.m., and you tell your customers to pay their invoice by, let me start over, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you tell your customers to pay their invoice by 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Think about that customer that is in San Diego, California. Ayana, what time would that be? 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you had
0800, 8 o'clock. And I've been caught up there before. Went to bed and forgot to pay a bill, and then I'm now ghosting folks.
Right. So think about it. You've done a live at 10 p.m. It may take you about an hour to send out those invoices because you are doing it manually. The customer has to check their email and, submit the invoice, the paid invoice to you. So think about that customer that's in San Diego and your expectation of them to pay that invoice the first thing that when they wake up in the morning, right? Because after that live, they probably have gone to bed. So just be a little more, give a little more grace for some of those customers, especially if you're doing manual invoicing. Give them a little bit of grace when you are giving them that time frame. Okay, what Monique says, there's always additional work to do when entering your inventory, regardless of your method. And it's definitely the end result in gaining some of your time back. You've said it, getting that time back that you could be doing something else productive for your business versus having to, just manually type everything out. Using PayPal or using Shopify will definitely help you kind of streamline that process. The other thing that I love about Shopify, you get so many valuable reports to kind of check the health of your business. You'll be able to see things like which customer is like your top, I don't want to say selling, but the one that has spent the most with you. You can see that, you know, your top shopper. You can see what items have been selling, right? It lets you know also like where your sales are, you know, are coming from. It's just so much of a wealth of information that can help you with your business. So I always advocate for using Shopify. And then eventually, if you want to have your website, since you have all of your items in your inventory, it's as simple as taking a picture of that product and then just uploading it to that particular description of that item and putting it on your site. So hopefully, if you guys are interested in learning more about how to use PayPal and how to use Shopify, we do have a video talking more about the PayPal process, but I would volunteer my time to do another training specifically on using Shopify to show you guys if you're interested in learning more about it. So let me know in the comments if you are interested in learning more about Shopify as an invoicing option.
Yeah, so go ahead and just say Shopify.
Just say Shopify if that's something you would like to learn about.
Yeah, if you're interested, Corinne is amazing at this because I still do manual.
Using Shopify, I know we talk about it for your website, but you can still use it to invoice your customer, especially if you do have your website and you're not using Reply Sold, but you're manually invoicing from PayPal, you are not using your Shopify to its full advantage. You should be invoicing from Shopify if you have Shopify.
Just remember, you're paying for that, right? So you're paying for this vast amount of information. And that's, I mean, I think in 2024, we've harped on this before, but if we can just tap into the knowledge of what is already being provided or what ladies you're buying, you're paying for this.
Yeah,
you don't, it's not only about the sourcing and getting before the live and sending it out, but we want to see you elevate to another level of sophistication for your business that brings back the time and the profit back into your laps and into your wallets and into your bank account. And we can do this. Like none of us, I promise you, none of this is too hard. You just need someone who maybe can show it to you and a group of people who are, ready to say, hey, this is the new way we're doing this. It's a more sophisticated way and we're getting on that bandwagon. So I think those.
Yeah, and I'll do it for those that are on this live because this is my time. I will do it for those that are on this live. We can do a Zoom meeting. And I'll show you how to do it. But it's only if you are on the live. Because you took the time to be here today. I will take, because it can take maybe about an hour. It shouldn't be that long. So only if you're on the live, you can come to my Zoom meeting. Debbie had a question, and we will talk about ghosting happens with any business, any system.
And we'll get to that.
It happens.
Her main question is, does the Reply Sold help with ghosting? And I think it can, right? Not really?
Not necessarily. I mean, what it does, the customer gets the invoice in their messenger, right? And you can see that, from your dashboard of your page, you'll see that every customer that has a cart, you'll be able to send them a message, say, hey, you haven't checked out. Let me know if you have any questions. So it does help with more accountability because they can't say, I didn't get the email. I see it in your messenger. You got it, right? So it does help with accountability, but does it eliminate ghosting? It does. No, it's not going to eliminate the ghosting. Debbie had a question about, is it easy since you use Shopify? Absolutely. With Reply Sold, all it is, you're adding an app And you know, in Shopify, there are several apps that you can add to help with your business. So it's simple as subscribing to Reply Sold, adding the app to your Shopify, and you'll be able to use it. There's nothing different that you have to do other than just subscribing to the Reply Sold. Um, you can use the scanner. You would have to print out labels and put those labels on your items. In my case, I don't use the scanner. I type in my item numbers and it still works the same way. So that would be the only thing.
Okay, so we're gonna reiterate the offer Karen just put out there. If you are on the live tonight,
Yep.
actually, we got some offers going only for those on the live. Though I'm not sending it out to. No, no.
No, no, no.
But no, it's because you took the time. You're saying, I want to
Right.
invest in my knowledge. So we are going to reinvest in you. So if you took the time tonight to, if you would like the free workbook on your buyer persona to create one, which I think is imperative that you have
Yeah.
one, then make sure you have already entered the comment. What did we say was the comment back
The
then?
email for
Your
just
email
the
address,
email.
exactly. Your email address so that you can get us, we can email it directly to you. If you want to get a free workshop with Karen as she walks through how to use Shopify to do invoicing, just make sure you comment Shopify. And she will reach out and set up a Zoom session for those on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you have a friend that should be here, make sure you tag them so they could type Shopify.
Exactly. Like, girl, just type Shopify.
Just type Shopify, girl. I would just type the word Shopify.
Okay. So
Okay, awesome.
that is invoicing. Let us know some hearts. Let us, as we do on lives, as you feel on lives, we want to feel the energy. So give us some hearts and likes or whatever. If this is content that you are appreciating, it's right on time and it's basically either reinforcing what you already know or actually adding to things you did not know. So just give us some hearts if that is going well for you. Okay.
Mhm.
I think we are moving on to another foundational item that we definitely need to make sure we are hitting, and that is customer service.
Woo.
Yeah, customer service is a big one, right? And so some people do it great, some people don't do it as well, and some people don't really see the need for it. And I just want to make sure we understand that in this world of online shopping, online business creations, online personas, customer service is even probably more imperative for you as a small business owner to build a brand that people find reputable and people want to come back and shop with. So now let's say you've done the best thing. You've created your buyer persona, you got that unlocked, you are hitting it out the park with being able to direct marketing and campaigns, and you're buying the right stuff, they're selling out, but your customer service, I consider it these tools, right, are not the best. They're not as sharpened as the other parts of your business. You can spot that sequin gown from across the way as you walk in, but the minute someone sends you, we call her questioning Quinn, sends you a message saying, hey, that sequin gown you sent me, one of the sequins that no one barely could see could be seen. And now you have customer service in full deployment. It could be rough, it could be tough, but just understand, what is the goal of your business? What is the goal? Is this a hobby? Is it something that, in about 6 weeks, once you make enough money, you're shutting it down? Is it something that you're looking at in a long-term basis? So when we think of customer service, we say there are 3 C's that I want you to remember. And Karen, I don't know if you have access to the brand tab, but if we can write this down, or someone in the comments, we want to think of 3 C's: communication, conflict resolution, and crisis management. How are you on all 3 of those? Because communication is obviously self explanatory. Can you communicate your things in a right manner? And we're not just talking about communicating on the live that day. communication starts even before that, right? We talk about your promotion. What are you communicating about your business? It talks about in that 15-minute live sale introduction. What are you telling people coming into the live room? How are you grabbing their attention and how are you keeping their attention? And that's all in the communication. The words coming out of my mouth is communicating to you what I'm saying, how I'm presenting, what I'm wearing, all of those things, the nonverbal cues, the verbal cues, communication. After the live, we talked about invoices. What is it on your invoice? Are you even sending invoices that have anything? Do you say the word thank you? Do you say the word hello? Do you give information that tells this person that your brand is reputable, that you want this person to be a lifelong customer? What are you saying about payments and the deadlines and time zones? All the things that Karen just mentioned in invoicing, those are your communication. So don't think about communication just with when they send you an email or a text, right? The communication is the full brand. You are communicating. And the part that a lot of people don't realize, we communicate non-verbal cues every day on social media, right? What we write and also what we how we say things, what we do, the pictures we post. Those are non-verbal cues that tells us how we are communicating to prospective and to current buyers. Does that make sense? Um Now, conflict, and I'm going rapid because we have a lot to get through. So, conflict resolution. And this is probably the part that I see go off really fast. And as a platform owner, I have been in middle of three-way communications between buyers or sellers who went live on my platform, a buyer who something happened, and myself in the middle watching the either to mediate or to just watch and determine, okay, what's happening. Um,
Right.
I'll give a story about the fact that in my job, as a judge advocate in the Navy, a lawyer in the Navy, 99% of my commanders do not like lawyers. We are the fun police. We are the people who always say, no, they can't do something. No, you can't shoot that. No, you can't use that weapon. No, no, no. So when I walk into a room, there's literally audible groans when they're like, oh, Jag is here. Oh, but and I get these things for emails and in person, right? The one thing I would say is that when I get those emails, which immediately are sent to me in a defensive, and I know they're standing their ground, they're like, I'm gonna make sure Jag knows exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna let her know who's the boss. I'm the commander. She advised me. I have the final say. And I could feel all of that in an email. Have you not gotten emails from customers where you feel like they're ready? They're ready to go toe to toe with you. And you're like, listen, this is old clothes. We're not going to go there. This is secondhand clothes, ma'am. Calm it down. It was $5, right? It was $6, and it probably could have been free, right? Have you gotten those emails where you start and you're like, But as a business owner, the one thing that I would implore you to do, as I do this daily, I'm not exaggerating, is you get that first email and you're right. And a couple of things will happen in this business. Karen will call me and she's like, Ayana, or I will call her and Karen, screenshot, send that email over. How can I respond to this? And
Let's talk.
let's talk, right? And the first thing is like, but I have a reputation. I have a brand. At work, I
Mhm.
am a commander. I am I cannot go off on these commanders, even though I know I'm right. But the first thing I normally do is that, you know what, I'm gonna take a step back and realize that that person they're coming from a different thought process than I am, and I'm gonna come from a different thought process. Pick up the phone is always my 90% reaction to calming someone who is coming at me, right? I don't like to do this back and forth per my this, and this. You pick up the phone, and I don't even address the email right away. The same thing in this with this. You don't even address the fact, ma'am, you know I told you that that sequin dress had one little button missing and you could take it to the dry cleaner. You don't need to do all of that. You pick up the phone or you send a message, hey, can we talk? And for most part, they get caught off guard on that. Yes. Hey, this is Jack calling. How's it going? TGIF. How are you? Any good plans for the weekend? No, no, my son has a basketball game. Oh, he's 14. Yes. Oh my gosh. Kids, you know how they do. Oh my gosh. I hope you are going to have a great weekend doing A, B, and C. Oh, by the way, here's why I was calling. I got your email earlier today, and I see that, there's a difference in opinion on the recommendations. What do you need? What do you want? How can I support you? Because that's what I'm there to do. I'm there to advise you and support you and make sure you don't lose your job. What can I do for you? Tone, everything goes away. Same thing with the customer. Hey, I saw that you got the sequin dress. I think that sequin dress is going to look fabulous on you, by the way. What's the matter? What can we do to help? Oh, one sequin is missing. Okay, well, what would you like? Instead of one doing the passive aggressiveness or you know, don't you hate it when you see a social media post about somebody talking about you? You know they're talking about you, but they haven't said your name. The entire world of comments is like, girl, I saw that too, right? Just remember in that audience, you're going to have prospective customers who may never shop with you again because they saw how you gaslit another customer. And they may not even know, like, you might be completely in the right. You might be completely in the right. But the way you treated another customer makes them fear how you would treat them if there's ever a misunderstanding. And that's what these things are called, misunderstanding. Hey, it's my mom said it's old clothes. We're gonna fight over old clothes? No. But you may now have lost this customer for life because what is your goal as a business owner, especially if you've done your homework and this is a buyer persona that you know is target, this person is exactly who your ideal customer is flipping that person. Okay, you talk to them. Hey, well, I'm sorry that you didn't see the communication about the disclosure, but what can I do to make this right for you? Would you
Mm-hmm.
like a discount? Maybe next time you shop with me, I'll give you 10% off. Maybe you get free shipping the next time. Maybe whatever. But the
Mm-hmm.
part of this is that one, passive aggressiveness is a part of our customer service that we should probably try to avoid on social media. But
Yes.
second is trying to understand that what is the goal of your customer service branding? Because that goal folds into what your brand is. And if you are someone who easily gets annoyed, it's fine. We all do. Have your little crew and get annoyed, have them check an email, check a text, check a response, send it back, and move on, right? Don't let these things build up so that it now affects your brand because negativity travels faster than positivity. And so we understand that
Absolutely.
that person is going to come back and say to somebody else, I shopped with her and I will never. And no one knows the true story. And then we play telephone and then the story becomes a whole different issue. So, customer service is a part of your brand. And if you don't have a very strategic level of where your customer service is, along with your buyer persona, then you're literally just doing lives and hoping for the best. And maybe it works, and more than likely it won't. Does that make sense? Let me
Mm-hmm.
and then the last one, just touch on this, is crisis management. Brick and
You have to
mortar,
get the story. Yes.
crisis management, and this comes back into the invoicing portion as well. And
Mm-hmm.
more importantly, if you know who your ideal customer is, some of these things really won't bother you because those things
Mm-hmm.
bothering you is because they are negative personas. I'm not saying negative people. Please don't. I'm not saying they're negative people. They're negative personas, which only means these are people who are not your ideal customer, and you don't necessarily have to focus on them. Okay, so crisis management. I want to give a very short, brief example of what that means. If you had a brick and mortar store, like there are some of us resellers like Zoe's Vintique that has her own brick and mortar, and you can walk in and you can buy items in the store. Let me ask you a question. If you had a brick and because we see these things on, once again, some of those passive aggressive comments and Facebook posts, but if you had a brick and mortar store, and tell me if you've done this, you go into the store, You're looking around, you're like, oh, this look cute. You look at the price, like, oh, that's not cute. You walk around, you pick up some stuff, you even go into the dressing room, you try it on, you're like, okay. You take it and you're like, you know, I'm gonna get it. And you're walking up to the cashier, and right before you get there, you're like, you know what? Actually, you're giving it to her. I'm not gonna take this. And you walk out the store without anything. You've picked up 4 things. They probably would have totaled, if you bought it, about $300. And you decide at the end, like, you know what? I absolutely do not need another anything today. My husband is going to kill me if I come in his house. And you walk out the store. Imagine you walk out that store and that person from behind the counter comes running out and is like, ma'am, you picked up 4 items and you bought nothing. I'm sure somebody will turn around, videotape that, and that would be on Instagram in a heartbeat. It would be on somebody's reel in a heartbeat.
You,
Crisis management.
you forgot you're a ghoster.
Telling them, like, why didn't you buy it? You put it in, you had it at the customer. She was about to ring it up and you walked away. That's $300, ma'am, that I lost. And you're looking, you're like, I didn't steal it. It's still with you, right? How do we handle sometimes the disappointment of these things? Customer service, where people bid on things and they walk out of it. They, you know, you in your head, you're like, okay, I got 32 claims out of 34. That's going to be about $800. That's if I clear that, that's 620, profit 550. I am in a good. And then the last person decides the 10 items that you bid. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm not going. And she lets you know, I'm not gonna be able to take any of those. The crisis management is part of your brand. How do you handle those things? And I've seen some people do some cute ways around that. They have lives called the Ghosters Return Lives, where it was only items that people ghosted them on. They do different types of theme lives with it. They do different, they put it in a different live. Crisis management. It bothers, it will hurt. It does, especially for small business owners. You're counting on something. But let me explain part of you how you handle and manage these disappointments we call crisis management is part of your customer service. So remember, communication, conflict resolution, and crisis management. Is that something that you have sat down and put in writing how you would handle these things so that you have it etched in stone what your customers are going to expect from you and what you will expect of yourself and your business as you navigate the world of people coming in and out of your world, sometimes to be positive, sometimes to be negative. All right. Does that make sense? If you say somebody said facts. um, so if that makes sense, just let me know. That makes sense. Or as Tiffany said, facts, because it's something that beyond just thinking about it, write it down, have it as your part of your standard operating procedure for your business.
Mm-hmm. And can I just touch on? I don't want to like keep pounding the elephant in the room, but try as much as you can to, if you come into a situation and you need to vent, you need to discuss what happened with a customer or whomever, find that circle of friends or one friend and just inbox, talk with them, because they care about you. Okay, versus posting on your business page or posting on your personal page, because the whole world, the whole Facebook community, they don't need to know what's going on in that sense of your business. They don't need to know about all of this, conflict or things that are going on, because do they really care about you? Right? You're just, when you post things like that, is inviting, people just to have a conversation and just kind of egg you on with that situation. There's no real true solution that they're providing. So try to talk with your trusted circle of friends that truly care about you and truly care about your business. We don't ever see the big companies like Target, Macy's, Dillard's, Amazon. We don't see them talking about their customers and experiences like that on their social media. We don't. So just keep that in mind before you start typing. Oh, let me tell what happened. Keep that in mind. Talk with your trusted circle of friends. All right. So can we all agree moving forward that we won't? And also jumping in the comments. If you see a post like that, just maybe send the inbox and comments in the inbox, but don't join in the conversation, because there are customers, prospective customers, who may see your comments, may see what you've posted, and that may, be a turnoff, of them seeing how you talk about, even your peers and your customers. All right. So the next part of the presentation, one of my favorites, is your the live, like nailing the live. What are the things you need to do to make sure that your live sale is successful? So a few points that I want to discuss. One of them is that 15 minutes that Ayana and I'm speaking for our platforms, we allow you to come on 15 minutes before your live sale in order to, what I like to say, kind of warm up your customers. Type it in Google Keep. Got to learn about that one. But come on 15 minutes before you're live to warm up your audience. Get them excited about shopping with you. Take that time to introduce yourself. Let them know about your business. Let them know how this live sale is going to work. Let them know about what items you are going to provide. You should be using that time to get that algorithm going. You want your customers to respond in the comments to the questions that you are asking or the instructions that you are giving. Because when Facebook sees this is going on, that is how they drive more people to join your live. They'll share it out more because they see, like, oh, look at all this activity that's going on. Let me share that out so more people can join. So make sure that you use that time very, very wisely. Think about the questions that you ask too, because you want to ask questions that will benefit your business. One of the questions I always like to ask is, where are you tuning in from? Because I can look back at the comments and see where my customers are from. So I know what type of reach I'm reaching. Also asking maybe like, are you looking for anything in particular? That way they can respond with, I'm looking for, a dress, I'm looking for sequins, I'm looking for, plus size fashion. Again, those are all answers that will help you with your business. So make sure you use that time very wisely. Yes.
Kiana, we watching you. We're gonna hold you to that, Kiana.
We will hold you accountable, to that. That time is very important. It's also a time to use just in case you have to restart. Absolutely. Ashley, one of our pros, one of our winners of Best Live Seller, she has said it here. If you have any technical difficulties, that 15-minute window is really a great time to kind of iron out, anything that may pop up. Use that time to go over your housekeeping rules. Absolutely. These are the pros on here, ladies. So use that time to go over all of your housekeeping rules. And it doesn't mean that throughout the live, you should not keep reiterating, because you have to remember, people join in your lives at any time. So you want to keep reiterating that information. Let them know your name. Hey, for those of you just joining in, my name is Corinne Duclos. Thank you for tuning into the live. Everything tonight is 25% off. Make sure you type the word register. So keep reiterating those housekeeping rules throughout the live. And
can I jump in here real quick?
Yes.
One of the things to do, especially for the Facebook algorithm, when you first start a live, a lot of people do the The live comes on, and then they look to see the numbers. And they're like, I'm just going to wait till some people
Oh,
join.
yes. Yeah.
Listen, the algorithm has joined. That's who you care about, the algorithm. So as
Yes.
soon as you hit, I normally wait a few seconds because so that you get a better replay poster look versus you looking crazy.
Right.
But as soon as that start, you are talking, even if it's 0 people watching, the
Yes.
algorithm is moving and it's trying to determine whether this is something that it's going to keep pushing. And if you are silent or worse, you're not even you're not even on camera. So somebody who could have popped in, you didn't even see because you are
Right.
gone. You are fixing up the mannequin. You're still putting numbers on there. You're still pulling your rack together because you're like, I'm gonna wait for some people to join. Now, the other reason, going back to customer service, because we're gonna keep driving home all the points we made here. That one person, especially if you are doing it right, if you have done your buyer persona, you're going live on mostly on your page right now, then the buyer persona and you've done your buyer persona, you've targeted for that particular live who you want to join and stuff of that nature. Then if that one person joined, that's an ideal customer. An ideal customer could spend $800 with you. An ideal customer could spend a dollar. It could spend 100. So when that one person joined, that person needs to be immediately kept. They have 3 seconds per most of social media to grab that person. So that first person is going to be the person that you're going to lock in with. You're going to lock eyes with them, even though you're going through a camera like this. And you're going to say, "Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for joining. Where are you? You're going to make them feel bad for leaving. Because then, like you get onto something, you're like,
Right.
me alone. No, you're gonna make them feel bad for leaving because you're gonna be like, "Hey, Karen, how are you? Happy Friday, TGIF. I had some amazing things today. I know you've been asking about those sequin shirts, so you got to stay on this one. This live is for you." And as soon as you do that, that algorithm is going to start pushing. But a lot of you guys have to understand Facebook Live is part of what you do, and then the algorithm. And they've told us exactly what the algorithm needs. It needs motion, it needs discussion, it needs talking, and it needs people to join in and give you the emojis and comments.
The comments and things like that. I'm glad you brought that up too, because it reminded me of something else. You should have your camera set up before you press the live button. I've seen it so many times. They press live, and I have a camera on it, and all I'm seeing is
or the inside their nose.
Your camera should be set up. You find that perfect spot. If you need to tilt, you leave it there, step back, hit live, and strike a pose.
Oh, you look cute.
It's about because what happens is, and I think Ayana brought that up again, Facebook takes like a little snapshot, and that position becomes your thumbnail. So do you want your thumbnail to look like this or this?
I'm dead. I'm dead.
But you know what? Sometimes that might make people want to click on the live when they see but again, have your setup ready and then press the live button. Do not go live and then try to fix your camera. I've jumped off live if I see individual just standing or walking around. I love engaging. Yeah. So you want to make sure you're talking. I start talking immediately.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
And something else you may want to do right at the beginning is say something like, if you're watching this part of the live, you might be watching the replay, especially if the live button is not showing. Because what happens is after you're live, and somebody's watching the replay, that will be the first thing that they see. Like you're telling them, hey, you might be watching the replay. And you give them all of those instructions. And then you can continue welcoming your customers that come in. So I use that as soon as the countdown, I've taken my little snapshot, I get into the zone.
And I would say that what kind of saying that I want to anchor on that is that you are allowed to repeat stuff, right?
Yeah.
So when you say I'm gonna wait for people to come in, it's as though like you paid for the minutes that you're about to talk, and so you can't repeat what you said to people when they come in. It's okay, and it's actually preferable that even if that first person comes in, you catches them and you start talking to them and you're like, hey, this is what I'm going to show tonight. And then within 2 or 3 seconds, it jumps up again to more people. Hey, ladies, thank you for joining. If you're now joining, please remember tonight is a live about boom. I am your host. My name again. Here's what I'm going to be showing. The first person who heard it's not going to be like, man, I heard that already. I'm leaving. It's actually going to be more enticing because now you're giving additional information that you probably didn't give to that first person, and just making sure that they feel just that connection with you. Somebody asked if, you were live, nervous. I get nervous every single time I go live. Like I call Corinne, I'll be like, oh. She's like, Ayana, you could do this. I literally, that's why I don't do live sales, because Corinne knows I get super nervous doing live sales. So that's why one of the reasons I don't do it. So I give my hats off to all of you who do. But some of the things that you can incorporate to make these things better is that presentation. Just be ready for it. It's your time. It's your show. And if you seem too nervous or not ready, have the audience hype you up. Make them, Dawn always says, hey, ladies, sometimes it's a little hard in here. Give me some hearts so I know you're out there. It's fine. You're talking to them and they will communicate via the comments, jokes and laughs and emojis. But whatever you do, just remember it's the members on the live and the algorithm. Those are your people. So find ways to engage with both.
Gwen says, I have to drink a glass of wine before live. No judgment.
Gwen, every time.
Gwen, clearly, no judgment there. And even Ashley says that, yes, nerves be bad, but she pulls it off flawlessly. So, after some time, it may not impact how you do your live as much. You kind of feel comfortable once you turn that, you click that live button, you're kind of get into that zone. So the great thing is, I think it was Deborah who asked about the lighting. That was my next topic. Lighting is so important. I think Stacy even said it's important for the live, but also for the clothing that you're going to show, the items that you're going to show. I suggest getting a ring light. Invest in a good ring light. That will help you with your live sales, getting the nice lighting that you need to showcase you and to showcase your clothing. We should not be relying on that ceiling fan, because that light, it gives a glaze or a glare, and you don't get to see the items.
Just turn it off.
And
do light in the dark.
And also, your lighting should be in the front. Your light should be in the front. It should not be in the back, because sometimes I see sellers who do lives and they're using maybe they're by their window and they have that that light coming from the back, and that is not good. It does not give a clear, crisp picture that you need, because this is online. They're only going by how they see the items that you're presenting. So you want to make sure you're doing everything possible to make sure that your items show up very well. So invest in a ring light. Do not rely on your ceiling fan. Do not rely on a lamp. Even during the day when I do a live, I have my ring light. I have a ring light right here, and then I have another light right here. So have your the two lights?
I have 3.
Okay. Yes. So make sure that you you invest in a good lighting system. And then another important thing is the look, meaning your look. How are you showing up for your live? We are selling fashion. You have to dress the part. Okay? You should take the time to get ready for your live sale because your customers are coming on and you want to wow them. Like, ooh, look at what she got on today. If you don't, and I joke about this, but I'm serious. If your customers do not compliment, they do not ask you if they can buy what you're wearing, you need to try again because they should be complimenting you and asking you, can I buy that item from you? That is how prepared, that's how the look should be.
And it should be for sale.
Right. And well, sometimes I can't.
Yeah, exactly, Corinne. It should be for sale. You're selling. Get in there. But that goes back to the first thing we talked about, your ideal persona, right?
Mhm.
Who are you marketing to? Right? If you are marketing to someone who's looking for statement pieces, because you know that because you've done your ideal persona,
Right.
and you're not wearing a statement piece, you are missing opportunities. I'm going to call these opportunities. If you are marketing to people, maybe you have an older crowd and they're looking for all the new church suits.
Right.
They're looking for Sunday best, and you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
Wait, I like what Ashley says.
Yes, actually, you should.
She doesn't want to sell what she's wearing. Ashley, I understand. I don't want to sell what's on my rack.
Right, okay, but then right, unless you have a similar, because you're gonna hear come on, man, stop gatekeeping the pieces. You're coming there with the statement, sell them, or don't put it up in there.
Really said no ifs, ands, or buts. It should be for sale.
It should be. That's how I feel. Like you're gonna get me all hyped up on this live, and then all I'm looking at you for the next 60 minutes is why she's not selling that. She's selling everything else, but. And everybody coming in late, like, is that shirt for sale? Everybody in the comments, like, nah, we
the shirt you're wearing, really? You want to sell the shirt?
Like, come on.
But I'm saying all that to say, make sure you show up. If you look the part, you dress the part, your customers are going to shop with you because they're like, damn, she really knows. She's showing me all these pieces and look at what she's wearing. She really knows her stuff. And I'm going to trust her. You are the advertisement, Corinne. Let that
Gwen. She got that tuxedo set when she lost in an unboxed battle.
Yes. Yeah, that tuxedo set it's a little sore subject.
Yes.
For me, but those are the things I wanted to touch on. I see some of you are discussing some other things when it pertains to the live, making sure you read the comments. I have watched some lives where the seller they're just selling. They're just selling. They're not paying attention to comments that come through. If you're not able to do that, maybe have someone, maybe your assistant or a trusted friend who can respond to some of those questions or even pin them so you can see it when you get an opportunity. So make sure that you read those comments because you could be missing a sale. And again, during the live, reiterate your name, your business, how they can get in touch with you, when the payment is due, how they're going to receive their invoice. Because people are tuning into your live, throughout. They're not just coming from the beginning when you start. They're joining in in the middle. They're coming in at the end. So make sure you reiterate those housekeeping rules. And the last thing I want to say, save some time at the end of your live to allow your customers to pass on items. Take that time to, again, reiterate, your name, how they can contact you, things of that nature. And also that gives you a chance to thank them for joining your live. I see a lot of times they just sell down to the last minute. And then
he'd be like, all right, we gotta go by. And you're like, I just got here, but I wanted that.
Right.
I don't know who that was, but okay. Hopefully she'll be back somewhere. That is the really important thing that it's a brand, and the brand doesn't need to be greedy to the last second. So you will help with your ghosting, you will help with your customer
Mhm.
service, you will help with being able to move the live to a different platform. Even if you say, I
Mhm.
see we have a lot of people, I still have a big rack still. How about we move this to the after party? Join me on my page. If you've just joined, I am blah 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 blah. All the thing, all these time, it gives you time to kind of keep the excitement moving. And
Mhm.
sometimes you don't have to be that last, that last thing that's done without I would say strategy. I wanted
Mhm.
to say something last before we move on from this
I'm
one,
gonna.
but it was Nicole saying that I'm a work in progress, which is why I have hubby assist with the comments. But Nicole, what we used to tell our Level Up Academy is like accountability partners could be in the comments with you,
Mhm.
right? Like
Mhm.
you have a friend, hey, I'm going to go live tonight. I'm still trying to figure out how to do all. It's like walking and chewing gum, but it's not hard. It's not hard, but it's hard. And I sometimes forget to look at the comments. Have a friend in the comments who can answer for you. They're reading the comments and they're like, "Oh, that's a size 12," or you know, they're flagging things for you. They're pinning things for you. You can do that. That's one way of being able to be interactive, because people are reading the comments while watching, and if they get their answers, they're going to continue watching. Okay, so
Mhm.
having somebody in the comments as a friend is an amazing way to be able to do it all at the same time. Especially if you're still not comfortable with reading the comments, going back to the rack, changing out, and keeping the energy going throughout the 60 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay.
One last thing, someone asked, I believe it was Max C who asked about with replies sold and shopping the replay. And I saw a lot of our experts jumped
Oh,
in. When you use replies sold and the customer shops the replay, if they bid on an item and the item is available, they will automatically get the shopping cart to their Facebook Messenger. They could shop the live the next day. They could shop the replay next week. I think Ashley even say the next year they can shop that live. And if that item is available, they will automatically get the invoice sent to their Facebook Messenger. Again, you just have to make sure during your live that you kind of reiterate how it works. So that way, as they're watching the replay, they know, okay, I have to type and register, you know, sold the item number, and that item would come to their messenger. That's one of the reasons I love using reply sold, because I get those sales. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was from 2 weeks ago. This is a live from weeks ago. I still have the item and I can ship it out to that customer. So no more DM me with a screenshot and I'll let you know if the item is available. That's a lot of work for that customer, and they must really want that piece. So it makes it a little bit easier for those that are shopping the replay.
Okay,
All
and
right.
on to our last
Like,
section
yeah.
of this is promotion hacks and how you can promote your live that folks show up. I think the
Mhm.
first one is the first four that we talked about. Know how you're promoting, to whom you're promoting, because if
Mhm.
you don't know who you're promoting to, then it's a crapshoot every time who will show up. Are you going to get your negative personas? Are you going to get your questioning queens who's just there to ask you a bunch of questions, knowing very well she has no intention of buying your statement piece because she doesn't know how to wear a statement piece and that's not her thing? But she will ask you 1,000 questions, making you believe that you got a sale coming. And in fact, she will not be buying it. So having that buyer persona, making sure having a customer service that spans all of your social media websites and your
Mhm.
branding everywhere, that people feel comfortable wanting to shop with you, that they're not turned off by you, and that they understand that this is a brand for you and that you're going to take care of them whichever way and however the interaction is, and that you are someone that they want to show up to these presentations. When you go,
Mhm.
it's an experience. They're going to a live show.
Yep.
and that they know they're going to have fun. The audience members are even just as fun because they're like, oh, girl, where you been? I've seen full on conversations in the comments while people are watching lives because they've, it's like
Yeah,
running
it's
into an old friend again, right? And
yeah.
then how do we promote? So we're going to talk a little bit about you got to show up in the community. Now,
Yes.
there are a lot of new
Yes.
sellers out there,
Yeah.
and you're new to the game, new to these platforms. That's fine. But if the only time the community sees you is the day of your live, then it is really hard to build a brand confidence if they don't know who you are. To know who you are is to show up in things like this. Stacy literally just posted something that, hey, I'll be in, I'll help somebody out if they need help in the messages if I have time. That kind of community building builds a lot because now somebody's like, oh, who's this Stacy? Oh, did you know she's Francesca's Closet? Oh, let me see when she's going live. These are the things that just build a community. It is not just about selling on the lives that day and then no one knows who you are and you just disappear. I don't care how great the items you are. At some point, for the algorithm to see and push your items, push your lives, they got to see people coming in and you need people to come in. So you might have the absolutely most amazing pieces and it will stay the most amazing pieces in your house if no one is buying them, right? If no one is coming to your door, even if you were in a brick and mortar, if no one is coming through those doors, you can have the best pieces in the store and no one comes in. So one of the hacks that we said is go in. If you have a live coming up that week, be in on whatever platform it is, be social on that platform. Most of these platforms allow people to post as long as it's not about self-promotion only, but you can post. Let's say you have a theme live coming up and you're going to be doing denim, right? And that week you are in the communities and you're talking about different ways to hack denim, different ways to wear denim in this spring. Denim is the new theme or the new spring theme this year. Denim is the new this. Look at these denim things I've worn before. You've never yet said who your name is in the sense of I'm selling denim or I'm, my name of my business. You are just there putting out posts that people are like, huh, I've never thought to wear denim like that. Your name then becomes recognized, right? So Facebook even knows this, right? Have you seen where Facebook will put little badges on rising star, rising content? What do you think Facebook is doing? When you get those badges, when you post in groups and pages, the algorithm automatically gives you a boost that your things get to the top without anything happening. Okay, hear me on this. And then you can go in and do the research. Facebook has these badges now that allows the people commenting and people interacting in pages and on group to get these things that when they post something, their comments and their posts gets a higher push. So now you're posting all these things, you're being seen a little further than when you would have been because you're new to this group. And now you're being seen because they have a whole bunch of different badges for them.
Badges in the group. Yeah.
For what you are. And as long as that group turns it on, so if you're a Facebook group and you don't have that, go into your settings, make sure you have the badges on for your members so that they can get that praise and recognition, so that when they start posting, they really can get the attention from Facebook algorithm. But that's what we're saying. Like you can't just show up at 10 p.m. that night and 9:45 and then start talking as though they've known you. People gotta, come on, give me a little foreplay. Give me a little foreplay.
warm me up a little bit. Those are really important. It's like even when you post, like this is something I do, like in the morning. After I thank God for waking me up, grab my phone, and you want to start like commenting on people's posts. Okay, when Facebook sees that you have gone through, you've liked some pictures, you've made some comments, you've taken the time, maybe a minute or so, and then you post your own post, you'll get more interaction because you've kind of warmed up the audience. And when you make your post right after that, you will see that you have a higher engagement with those that have seen your post because you went through and you kind of warms up your feed. So try using that technique. Also, when you go into a group, try doing that technique as well. Go through that feed. Take the time not only just to do a like, but do a heart, because you get like an extra, warm and fuzzy feeling when you hit the heart. And then of course, when you comment, especially on posts that don't have any comments, comment on those posts, because your comment is going to show up. You're maybe the only one that posts on there. And what happens is when people see that you've commented, maybe you've given some advice, they're going to click on your name, which will take them to your profile page. And on your profile, if you're strategic, your profile page should have some information about your business. And that is, a strategy to get people to know more about your business, and even to follow you. Someone posted in the comments, I don't know if you saw that, Ayana. They asked about having a business page and a personal page, and which page they should do their lives on. I think someone asked.
So it really depends if your personal page has now been, Facebook recently did this within the last 7 months, where your personal page is almost like a business page. You can actually get monetize your personal profile. So my personal profile is now considered a pseudo business page. So while I may post more personal stuff like my kids on there, my content still really is strategic to my brand, because I am monetized now on my personal profile. Can you do lives on those? Yes, if you are monetized. If you're not, then I will continue to do it on your page until you get there. You can still share to your personal page if you're trying to get
Because I don't know if the bot would work on your personal
your personal profile. So that may be one thing you guys have to check. But
because I don't know if the bot, but you could share, do your live on your page, and definitely share it
to your
on your personal, your personal page
and in your group.
Yeah, and in your group. So make sure that you do that. I don't think the bot is, Gary probably is working.
Yeah, that's the word. Tan said it, professional mode. So if you have it in professional mode. Now, going back to what Karen was saying with this hack, this works on Instagram too, right? Especially if you are trying to grow your Instagram page. The same thing with commenting. Right before you post something, you should go in and, with people that you engage, like genuinely engage, not just going and hit the like. I mean, genuinely engage, leave comments and stuff like that on those pages, and then post your content before, right? Or alternatively, post content and immediately after you post, go in and engage in Instagram, leaving contents and stuff. It will allow the algorithm to boost and push your things up, because at the end of the day, Facebook, all these social media apps just want people engaging on their apps. And if you are just going by, give that person a like. I mean, it's a community at the end of the day.
Love.
Say it.
Let's do love. The heart.
Yes, the heart.
The heart is and comment.
Comments is actually much better for the algorithm. So that's where we are going to say one of the hack is making sure that, especially if you're going to go live, that you have engaged on that platform to some degree, that you're starting to create a memorable, people are starting to look like, who is this? So that when this person puts their flyer together, and now they're like, oh, and now she's talking about her denim. Damn, she's been showing all that fly denim this whole week. Let me see what she has, because she has made me curious of what I could do to hack a denim. And now I need some denim blazers or denim jackets to hack, right? It's marketing. It's marketing. And so make sure that you are doing some of these hacks. One of the other things we're talking about when we say flyers, you got to start using more professional modes to create flyers, right? Like Microsoft Word is not the best for flyers. It's not. But they're free. Canva is a very user-friendly.
Yes.
If you are interested in us doing a full Canva tutorial, let us know. Just type Canva in the comments, please, because Canva now even has what we call it's the Magic Studio. You no longer even have to create most of it. You type in now, I am looking for a fashion Facebook post flyer live.
Everyone's saying Canva, yeah.
And now it will create it for you. Depending if you have the professional mode, I would say if you're a business owner, that's a tax write-off. Invest in that. That is something that you will absolutely not regret using, because you would use it at least 3 to 4 times a week. Because you know what you're using Canva for? Not only your Canva flyers, you're using Canva for your posts, you're using Canva for your reels, you're using Canva for your stories, you're using Canva for anything that you want to graphically design and show to your to your brand. You're using it for your logo, you're using it for your invoicing, I mean, there's so many ways. So I would truly encourage you to invest in that. It is a tax write-off, and I use it every year for my tax write-off. It's fine, but it is something that you want to do. And because the AI applications that they have now put in Canva, we can do only for those on the live, by the way. Only for those on the live right now. If you're on the live and you want a full tutorial session on how to use Canva to make your products more professional looking and give the information you need without having a graphic arts design background, all of our promos are made on Canva, and Karen will tell you it's about 2 to 3 minutes to make something, especially if you have a couple of photos in there. And Canva also has stock photos that you can use without you having to worry about those things. But in general, your flyer has to scream out what it is. Your flyer has to be directed and marketed to your ideal persona. Your flyer has to be able to say the information. I think Karen's biggest pet peeve is the information that is lacking on flyers. To say
caption. They'd be like, girl, it ain't that serious. Your caption, because again, you're posting your flyer in the community that you want them to know about you. It's not just about the live, okay? If they cannot attend the live, you want to make sure you're providing information like your Facebook group, your Facebook page, your website, so that way they can still shop with you if they're not able to make the live. A lot of sellers, they'll submit the flyer and the caption says, "Join me tomorrow." Okay, the live is, let's say the live is on Friday. Okay, they're posting the caption. It says, "Join me tomorrow." They're posting it on Thursday night. The live is on Friday. "Join me tomorrow." What happens to the customer that sees that promo on the Friday? They see it on Friday, the day of your live, but it says, "Join me tomorrow." They're going to think the live is Saturday. Okay, because that flyer, that caption, it stays in the group. We don't delete your flyer. So again, if they see that live, it says, "Join me tomorrow." They're like, okay, it's Saturday. Where's that live? Make sure you put the date. Join me Friday, January 19th, 10 p.m. So that way, when they see that post the next day, they already know, damn, I missed the live. But here's a link to her Facebook page. Here's a link to her website. I can still shop with her. So that's why I'm a little anal. I've gotten better.
But
they want to do it like this? Okay, I'll let them do it.
But here's another hack for that, right? After you're live, go take your link and put it in the caption now, because you can edit what you've already posted. So you can go in and put the link now, and you can edit the verbiage to say, "Shop the replay." Live happened already. So that even if I came across it, the caption now has been updated, because now it's not saying "Join me tomorrow." It just says, if you missed on this awesome shopping party, please shop the replay some items are still available. Remember, you have all of that control to go in and edit, or if it's on your own page, you can repost your same flyer and now put the link in there. But I've never seen anyone put the link of their replay. I don't know why. I guess when you're
Mhm.
like, when I'm over that live, I'm done.
But
Kimber,
you know what? That shows that seller's commitment to their business. Is this just a hobby? I'm just on here to make a quick coin, or am I here to build my business? Because doing your lives, it should be a complement to your resale business. Your business should not be lives. Your business is I am a reseller. I have an online boutique. Okay, one way to get your customers is to do lives, but it should not be the only way that you are, building your business or making money. So that if they're not sharing that, it kind of just shows that that commitment. So make sure that you do that. Some of the fonts on the flyers, Veronica, I see it all. I
yeah.
see it all, and I have, sometimes when I give suggestions and then they take it the wrong way, I've kind of laxed a little bit because I would be like, girl, redo that, do it again. And people don't take that, really well. So I kind of, let it be. But yes, when you're making your flyer, make the font big enough so people can read it, or make sure you put it in the caption. If you put it in the caption, they can see the information and then they could see it again in the flyer. Most important things, the time of your live in the time zone. I think either Maxi or somebody said that. Put the time zone that the live is in. Put the date. Put the your business name. Put all of that on the flyer. That should be the biggest thing. Some people just have them, but you can't read. You can't read the information about the
in,
live.
in the Canva course that we can go over, I can show you how to create a branding that includes your font and your colors, right? So your branding has your colors. For your branding, you should have about 5 colors that are complementary to each other. If you don't have one, Canva can create one for you. It's stunning. And now you just click a button, and every time you do your flyers, it will keep all your brand colors and the same font that you've settled on. There's a few that you should only be using, especially when you're doing flyers and things of that nature. But now you don't have to look for these things every time you do it. Canva has, boop, magic. You want to resize it for it's the event page, because Karen will always, I do the
Oh yeah,
I do all our graphic design, and she was like, hey Ayana, I need the same ad for it to fit the event page. Boom, magic resize. Here you go for you. And it will scroll down the list. It says Facebook event. It has Instagram story. It has all the dimensions that you you just click it, and then I download it. So there's so much to be done, but you don't have to learn too much. Honestly, like, this is a 1-hour course that when you leave, you're like, all right, I'm good. You don't need much more than that. So especially if you're interested in Canva, just make sure you put in there. And then the one thing I saw someone put in here just now, that can you post it on if your live wasn't, isn't it necessary to replay link because it's already in the feed? I'm talking about, you can repost your link in our, like, you could go into if you've posted a flyer, let's say you posted flyers throughout that day, or the night before, you can go in and edit and then copy and post the link in there. So you can do that without having, Zoe, thank you. And who got teenagers? Okay, and you could go in and for that. You could go in and repost the link.
Yeah, you can absolutely post. Yeah, I don't think we've ever said you can't post your link. A lot of the sellers, they'll do like a thank you in the group that says thank you for shopping if you've missed the live, here is the link. We're not saying just drop your replay link without, you know, a nice little caption. You do want to have like a caption with the replay link. So make sure you do that. So did you see my message, Ayana?
Yes. No.
Okay.
Okay. And so I think that is all we have. Stephanie and those who are understanding my pain of teenagers, I will sell mine on a live. Man, that's a whole nother live.
That's a whole nother live.
Why? I mean, my existence make her annoyed. But anyway, I think that's all. We went a lot tonight.
Not longer, yeah.
But I think it was such good information. I hope it's a lot. It really is a lot. And if you are, if this is something that you are passionate about, while it might be a lot, we can break it down into chunks, and it will get easier, and easier. And as Stacy and a couple of other resellers said, this is a community. This is a community, and it does, you know, it's a community, and we'll help you through it. Just show up to these events, and, you know, let us know what it is that you want us to put on more knowledge series on, so that you are getting, you know, you're getting from us what we can. And if we need to bring on more people to give this information, let us know. We are always happy to do that. Thank you.
Quick announcements before we close. Sunday is the first Unbox Battle of 2024, featuring the amazing.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. So we have Ashley of Ashley's Boutique, and we have Lamika of Posh by Mimi going head to head. There we go. Going head to head to showcase who gets the best items. And you guys are the ones that vote. So make sure you show up for Ashley and Lamika to see what items were sent. Yeah, this one, I don't know, girl.
It's going to be nasty.
Girl.
I'm excited.
Look, I'm nervous.
I'm excited, though. I'm excited because this is going to be epic.
This is a nice way to kick off the season.
Going to bring it. But thank you so much for joining us and staying with us. Hopefully your book is filled with notes and notes and notes. And those who did comment for various freebies, we are going to honor that. Just bear with, give us some time to go through this tomorrow, so we can send you your emails and or links. We will host the Zoom sessions and things of that nature. We appreciate every one of you for being part of this reselling community, being positive, being amazing, being the divas that you guys are. Truly appreciate you. And I cannot spend my time any better on a Friday evening in San Diego than just talking reselling. I love it.
I'm going to show the flyer again because somebody asked. So it is Sunday, 6 p.m. You can watch it on Thrifting Atlanta, or you could watch it on Thrifting Diva. So just be there to support these ladies and to be nosy and see what they got, right? And you'll be able to shop with the winner. Well, they're both winners. They are both going to be winners on Sunday, but the one that is crowned the Unbox Battle Queen, I know too much about how it feels to be an Unbox Battle Queen. So I've worn that crown many times.
I'm always cold. It is cold out here. It's like 40.
Anyway, it is 11:44. I have Cozy King of Curated for Curvy. She's doing Midnight Madness on the platform, items $12 and under. So let me give her undivided 15 minutes before her live.
Have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.